We're working on a big art project right now at Mara. It's a big mural, and it's a two-part mural. So the second part is going to be a timeline of education. And there's a thing that's called augmented reality, which I'm assuming nobody knows what I'm talking about. And augmented reality is you can take a wireless device of an iPhone or a smartphone or an iPad or something that's of that nature, and I can hook it on the camera and I can point it at the picture. And when I point it at say I point it here where this guy's telling a story, then that person would actually pop up on my screen and the story will show up of you people speaking. So that's the end goal. Hopefully we'll be able to get there. If not, I just really want to record your stories about what education was like for you guys growing up so that we can share that with the students at school. So I'm going to go through these, and so whoever's talking at the time, I'll need you to hold the mic so that they can get a better thing. I'm actually going to start with you, Karen.
Oh. Okay.
All right. So I'm just going to let's move this up here so we can move through. What's that? I'm not sure. These guys know that question.
Okay.
So these are two students from Wire. This is Delreese, and she's Melissa Maracle. That's her. And this is Isaiah Barker, he's one of the students from the context students from town. All right. So we'll just start off with what's your name?
Karen Lewis.
And what year were you born?
1947.
Okay, we'll start there. And what's your name?
Sharon Hill.
And what year were you born at?
1953.
Marguerite Maracle.
Pardon?
Marguerite Maracle,
And what year were you born?
1926.
26. There you go. So what's your name?
Eleanor Pike Miller.
And what year were you born in?
Pardon me?
What year were you born?
1926.
1926. Perfect. All right, so I'll start with you again. So what level of education, academic education, have you achieved? So how far in school did you go?
To grade 8.
Grade 8?
Yeah.
Perfect. And we'll pass that over to
Grade 8.
grade 8.
Grade 11.
Grade 11.
Grade 11. All right. Start with you. So did you attend public school here on the territory?
Yes.
All right. And what was your experience in public school?
I went to school in Shannonville. I lived then where I do now, so it was about a mile. I had to walk there. And then about I think it was grade 3, they kicked out all the Indian students. If you didn't live right in Shannonville, you couldn't go to that school anymore. So then I went to Western school, and for grades 3, 4, 5, and then to the big school.
Can you kind of tell us what Western school and big school means?
Okay, so Western school, there were one-room schoolhouses in various points on the territory, close enough for children to walk to them. Although when living where I did at that time, we had to have a bus. It was a blue van. The last person in had to sit on the spare tire. And, so they were one-room schoolhouses with all grades in one school.
Perfect. Yeah. Now what's the big school?
The big school was a new school that was built on the reserve to get away from the one-room school type of educating. So there were grades probably 1 to 8 in that school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Sure. Did you attend public school on the territory, and if so, where?
Yes, and I started at the Western School in grade 1, and we went to grade 3. Then from there we went to Quinny Mohawk for 4 to 8.
And Quinny Mohawk, not the Quinny Mohawk that's today, but...
No, it's Quinny Mohawk that was here.
Okay. And what was your experience like in public school?
I like it. No, well, in the missions, the little schools, there were just so many kids that the teacher really didn't have enough time to teach like she should have. And so when you got to grade 4, well, you were just a little bit off. So I ended up in the slow room downstairs. And I tried grade 4 upstairs with Les class. It didn't work, I couldn't learn from him, so they put me downstairs with Mrs. Rathburn. And we went from there to grade 8 like nothing.
Alrighty. So did you attend public school on the territory?
Yes, I do.
Whereabouts?
Down on Slash Road.
The mission school?
Yeah.
Mission school? And what was your experience like there?
It's good.
Yeah? So you attended there straight through to grade 8?
Great.
To grade 8? Alrighty. Let's over to Eleanor. How about you, Eleanor? Did you attend public school here on the territory? Did you attend public school here?
Eastern,
At the Eastern School?
yeah.
And you went there from K to 8, or kindergarten to grade 8?
There's no good.
You were there all the way to grade 8?
Yes.
Yeah? And how was your experience there at public school?
It was good, I guess.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was good. I had a hard time learning how to spell.
Yeah. Okay.
Other than that, it was okay.
So I know already you didn't go to high school anywhere off the territory or on the territory. So why was it that you didn't go to high school?
Oh, there was just too much to do around home. You know, I was the oldest of the family, so I had responsibilities like as if I were an older son,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, around the farm, you know.
Okay. How about you? How come you didn't go to high school?
It's too far to walk.
Oh yeah.
I had to walk from our house down to number 2 highway. So we walked down to the high school,
So the high school at that time was where?
Deserano.
In Deseronto. Alrighty. Alright. So where did you attend high school?
I started high school at Centennial in Belleville, and I done 2 years there. Then I went to BCI. Tried my grade 11 there, but I didn't finish it. And then in 91, I went to Napanee to try to get my grade 12, and I missed one subject, so I still don't have it.
So what was it like having to leave the territory to go to high school?
It was scary in the beginning, because I went to Centennial, nobody else went there, no other natives, and to try to, it was just a little group of people that was in your class that you made friends with. The other ones didn't have anything to do with you. So it was just a little bit on the scary side.
Alright. Same questions to you. Do you attend high school off the territory?
Yes,
And
Myra.
whereabouts was it? Moira? And what was it like? What was it like at Moira at that time?
Well, you felt out of place, like, because you'd come from a place where everyone was a native student, you knew everyone. And then you got there and you were all in different classes where, you know, people took different subjects. And so I'm not sure there was any in my classes. I think I was probably the only one. In a very few classes, there might be a couple from here that you did. Yeah. So it was kind of intimidating, I
Alright.
guess.
One more question, number 8. Did you experience any prejudices while attending school because you were Mohawk or Kinnigaha?
I can't think of an instance, but I didn't feel like one of that group, you know, so whether that came from them or was from me, you know, I don't know, but I can't think of any like outright prejudicial things that happened. Yeah, right at the moment anyway.
Good. Same question for you, Mom. Did you experience any prejudices while attending school because you were Mohawk?
Not in high school. High school was fine, but I forgot when we went to grade 7 and 8, we were sent to Harry J. Clark. And at Harry J. Clark, there was a lot of fights, and because the native kids were there, they didn't want them there. And not the girls, mostly the boys all got in fights because they were native, but that was it.
Okay. We'll watch that later too. So I have a different question for you. What's your most positive memory that you have while attending school?
I don't know. bad, actually. Didn't have no problem.
No? Good one. And what's your most negative memory that you might have while you were attending school?
Meals.
Meals?
I get hot meals once. Every other Wednesday, I think. Through the winter.
Yeah. So then 2 questions for you two. What's your most positive memory you have from attending public school?
Well, if you ask me what classes I liked best, it was home ec. That was learning to sew, and knit, and crochet, and do manual things. That was the best part of school.
Yeah. And what was the worst part of school? What was your most negative part?
Well, for me, it was getting punished for not being able to spell right. Making spelling mistakes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, last question. I'll start with you. Is there anything that you would like to share with us about your school experience that you think the current and future students would like to hear about regarding your school experience? So if you could tell us anything about your school experience that might affect the students of today and the future, what would that be?
No, I don't think so. Just that it was a very long walk from where we lived to over to the school. That wasn't all that good,
Yeah.
especially if it was raining or snowing. Of course, you'd get home a lot faster if it was raining.
Yeah. Alrighty, pass that along. So the same question to you. Is there anything that you would like to share with us about your school experience that you think the current and future students would like to hear about when you went to school?
Not really, I don't think. It wasn't too bad when I went to school.
Okay.
Just had to walk to school, rain or shine. There's nothing major about it.
Okay.
We had to do it.
Thank you. Hi, Mom. What would you like to share with us about your experience that maybe the students of today would like to hear?
Actually, mine wasn't all much different than what they have today. Because, I mean, we had buses. We didn't have to walk. And, I don't know, we didn't have anything much different than what they have.
Okay. What would you like to share with us about your school experience?
Positive and negative?
Positive and negative, yeah?
When I got to Western School, that teacher was way different than the one that I'd had in Shannonville. She kind of ruled with an iron fist. But one thing she did, if we were good, she would turn on the radio and there would be a children's program on there that we could listen to, like probably on CBC. And that was about the only positive thing she did, I think. And I think my most negative memories probably come from that same school years in that one-room school. She sort of taught by humiliation. If you didn't, you had to stand up. She'd ask a question, you had to stand up and give the answer, and you had to stand there until you got the correct answer. And I don't know, I learned math all right, but they're still numbers, and working with numbers, even at this age, are still frightening to me. All from that experience of how she taught them. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, is there anything that you would like to share with us about your school experience that you think the future and current students would like to hear regarding your school?
I don't know, I think you should always have a curious mind and want to learn more things, and have a critical eye, and don't just take what you read in a book as the positive, honest to goodness truth, but to keep searching and for answers to whatever your interests are.
Alrighty. That's all I got for you today. Thank you very much.